This conference
This
will now be recorded.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Next question, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
One sec. What is the difference between one second. A bean factory and application context we have discussed, ma'am?
Yeah, we have discussed that.
Okay. Next. Could you please tell me the annotations, whatever you have used in Spring, ma'am?
Spring we have used add component, add configuration, add beans, add auto-wired, add controller, add repository, add service,
Okay.
add transactional. Yeah.
Yeah. What are the lifecycle methods of bean?
First is the creation of beans. Then init method is called init method. Init method, then initialization of the beans, and then initialization, and then before initialization bean post processor is called, and then initialization, and then destructure.
Okay. Initialization, destroy, post construct, pre-destroy.
Yeah.
Okay, now at the same time we can create our own custom methods also over there.
Yeah. In post construct and pre-destroy.
So could you please tell me what are the design patterns available in Spring Framework, ma?
MVC design pattern on single MVC, and then singleton design pattern if you are using, because by default scopes of the bean is singleton scope.
Okay.
And yeah, MVC, that's
Prototype. Prototype is also one design pattern only, ma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say about that.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
So in total 3 design pattern: MVC, prototype, and singleton.
Yeah, even factory also will come into picture, ma. Factory will come. Abstract come into picture. Abstract factory pattern. All those things.
Okay.
Next.
Just one question, sir. Just we will be covering this design pattern, right?
Yeah, we will be covering, ma. That's what I done.
Okay.
But we came in this way.
Okay.
Next. How can you inject Java collection into Spring Framework, ma?
You have asked all these questions, but we can use setter injection. You have asked we can use setter injection and collection. Setter injection and constructor injection. If you are using with the yeah.
How can you inject Java collection? I'm asking. How can you inject values? I'm not asking. I'm asking how can you inject Java collection? What are the possible ways to inject Java collection?
So you can I didn't get the question, but you can the Java collection means that only, list or something. You can inject
Yes.
that. You can inject in. You can use proper. You can declare it in property and can inject the values in constructor. I didn't get the question actually.
Okay, I'll put it in this way, ma'am. How many ways we can inject collection? How many ways of collection is there?
Okay, list, map, set.
List,
We
map, set. Next,
list, map.
prop, set and props, ma'am. Have you heard about props?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that is one more type. That is properties.
Okay,
That's all.
okay.
Next. What is auto variant?
Uh, Auto varying is a method by which you can uh, inject the values without by using by type, by name. There are 5 ways by which you can use auto varying. That is by type, by name, no default, and by constructor.
Which is the default auto varying, ma'am?
Uh, Default is the no auto varying.
Okay.
This you
Next.
have asked actually.
Fine. And they will ask, explain auto wiring with an example also, ma'am. So you get ready with
Okay.
an
So should I explain? Okay. Yeah, okay. I know.
get ready with an example, okay?
Okay.
Hmm. What is qualifier?
Qualify if you have actually 2 bean instances declared in your XML5, and if you want to decide which one you want to inject in the particular class, then you can use qualifier with the bean name. Like if you have 2 bean ID for the same class, bean ID uh, bean ID 1 and bean ID 2, and if you want to inject bean ID 2, then you can use qualifier with the bean ID 2 name.
Okay. Fine. Next. Suppose if I specify bean ID2 name as a qualifier,
Yeah.
uh, if that is not matching, what happens, ma'am?
Maybe exception will be, if it is not there, maybe exception will thrown.
What kind of exception?
Uh, Bean init, no, I don't know. Bean initialization, I don't know which exception will be thrown.
Bean not found exception, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. What are the events occurred with respect to Spring Framework, ma'am? Different types of events occurred.
I haven't actually studied this, but that only you're asking, right? Context, refreshed event, started event, stopped event.
Okay.
I haven't studied this. Maybe I'll study next class because I haven't studied event handling and custom event handling. This only you're asking. I only know the little bit of like context only, that it's a refresh event is there, started event is there, but I don't know the detailed theory behind this.
Okay. What is the difference between file system resource and class path resource, ma?
Class path resources, actually it is used in for in application context. If you are using class path resource, then it's actually it's in your the path is in the if you it is the file system resources in the file in your desktop path, like C or any drive you have put in, and class path is in its Eclipse path.
Which one do you prefer?
Class path for maybe for local development you can use file path, but like if you are using for staging a production instance, you have to use class path, right?
You are saying that in this environment, but what I'm expecting is which one gives you better performance?
Class path, because it is easier to maybe it is faster than to find it in your desktop. It's easier to find it in the class path, I guess.
Okay. Fine, ma. You can put it in this way, ma. Basically, if you are putting it, if you are loading in the class path, right? Automatically, it gets opened with your Eclipse project only. It gets built with your Eclipse project only. Got my point, right?
Yeah.
Because of that, the project weightage will be increased, performance will be degraded.
Oh. Okay.
Got my point, right?
Yeah.
If it is any lazy loading kind of stuffs are there, those things specify it as a file resource. No, we don't have lazy loading. Eager loading is there. Then you can go for class path.
Okay.
You know what is meant by lazy loading and eager loading, Nama?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
But see, if you are using this command for new file systems for loading your XML file, either from your class path or from your desktop, so how come eager loading? But the eager loading, I understand that the bean.xml file will get loaded, but what is the use of? I didn't get the use, like. Anytime, if you are loading, anyways, if you are loading from file system, also the file will get loaded at the same instance only, right? So what is the use
See,
of loading eager?
a lazy loading in the sense after loading your project, if you want, you can load it. You got my point, right? Whatever the resources you want, after the project is loaded, then you can take the help of file resource.
Okay.
Why you
Okay.
need to load it with your project only and waste your memory?
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Next. Are singleton beans thread safe in Spring Framework, ma?
No, it is not singleton beans, because one instance is shared, right? No, I guess it's not.
Okay. So then what is the use of this singleton, ma?
Because see, in singleton bean, one instance is shared, right? So instead of creating a set, it's like instead of setting one thing again and again, you can just use singleton bin. If one value has to be shared across different thread, then you can use the singleton bin. No. Sorry. Uh, it's a default scope, right, of the singleton bin. It's a default scope of the beans.
Okay. Basically, the objects, okay, spring beans have no mutable state now,
Okay.
which means those are thread safe only.
Oh,
Got the point, right?
okay. So
Hmm.
if one thread is accessing this bean, the other thread cannot change its value. The other
Yes.
thread cannot access that
Yes.
bean.
Hmm. It cannot
Oh,
change. It can
sorry, it
access
can
it.
change. Yes, sorry, it can change, but it cannot access at the same instance.
Correct. Correct.
Oh,
You know?
okay, okay. So in prototype scope, it won't happen. In prototype scope is not thread safe. Singleton bean is thread safe.
Yes.
Okay.
What are the inner beans available, ma?
See if you want to use only one, like if you in if there are two classes A and B, and if the class B is injected only in class A, then instead of declaring it as a separate bean, you can inject in as an inner bean in class A only.
Okay. So what is the purpose of that?
Uh, Maybe the performance is good if you are injecting, if you are using it only for one particular property. I don't know the advantage of injecting inner bean.
Yeah, basically we can access all the inner beans, everything with the help of single object only, ma. Got my point, right?
No.
See, whenever if you have inner beans, we can access all the inner beans as well as inner functionalities with the help of single object only. We don't need to
Okay.
create multiple. Got my point, right?
Uh, mm, okay.
Let's say we have got one customer class having a reference of personal class.
Okay.
Okay. In our application, we will be creating only one instance of person class,
Okay.
and it can be used multiple times for the customer.
Okay.
Got my point, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Where whenever we have multiple customers, it will be referring to only one, what you say, person only.
Person.
Hmm. Where reusability of that object can be increased.
Okay. Okay.
Clear, right? Clear or
No,
any
it's clear.
doubts?
I'm just
Okay.
it's clear. I'm just writing.
What is at the
Okay.
rate component scan, ma? Annotation.
At the rate component scan, it actually scan the packages you have mentioned in your component scan and then registered those classes as the classes under that packages as a bean.
Okay. Which all the packages should be scanned?
The, which packages should be scanned? Any package you have mentioned in your the whole path you have to get in component scan, and any package you have mentioned there.
See, if we have got a package which is containing controllers, which we have got a package which is holding DAOs, we have got a package which is holding models like this. So many things will be there, right?
It's controller repository service and at the rate component.
Okay. So what this
It,
will do?
yeah, it will register those as a bean, right? Uh, it
Okay. Next, what is at the rate configuration? Huh?
@configuration, it's instead of using XML, you can use @configuration, which told you which basically tells us that that is the class that has to be that is the class that is actually equivalent of bean.xml, and in that @configuration class you can define all the beans on that in that class. It's actually a container of all the beans you have to give.
Okay. Next.
I have one question in regarding this component scan. There is a wait a second, I've written it. I'll just yeah, there is annotation MVC annotation driven also, right? And annotation config is also there, right?
Correct, ma'am.
So from what I could guess, the difference is that annotation config is for, like, it is used for already that the beans that are already registered in their context, like auto wired and all that. That it is not used for registering new beans.
Correct.
And component scan is used for registering new beans, right?
Correct.
But I didn't get MVC annotation driven is also there. So what is the difference between component scan and annotation driven? MVC annotation driven.
Component scan is basically meant for loading the controller, front-end controllers, all those things if you need to load. MVC annotation is good, ma'am.
For controller only. So if there is a repository or something else, it won't work.
It will work. In both the cases, that will work. But whenever if you have front-end controllers, all those things, right? MVC is good option for you.
Okay. So MVC is component scan plus form validation.
Correct.
Okay. So MVC is superset of component scan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you have the next one, ma'am?
Yeah.
How many ways can you configure Spring into our application, ma'am?
How many ways you can configure? Spring into Spring. By jars, are you saying about libraries or that? Or,
You can
are you
use
asking?
XML-based configuration.
Sorry, what?
You can configure the Spring by making use of XML.
Oh, so but that is beans, no? We can use XML and we can use annotation, Java configuration based.
Yes, totally 3 ways.
And
That's what.
in using annotation, using XML, and using purely Java based configuration.
Correct. Those are the 3 different ways now.
Yeah.
Let me.
In your in basically in projects in industrial projects, what we used mostly XML based or purely Java based or the mixture of all three.
It is previously we used to have XML based ma.
Okay.
Right now we are migrating it to Spring Boot.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It includes annotations also. Few of
Yeah.
the annotations.
So, but we don't use Java based configuration, right? Do we
We
use?
don't use ma. But
We don't
for
use.
purpose, at least we have to learn.
Okay. Okay. Because Java based configuration is little bit complicated.
Correct, correct. And next one, ma. How can you use Spring to create RESTful web service to return JSON response, ma?
At the rate rest, you say I didn't know you were going to ask this only, but at the rate rest controller, I think you have to use that controller, right?
Hmm. So you can use REST controller. Then what else?
Yeah. Uh,
That's it, huh?
no, I don't actually have to revise it. I don't know. You're going to, at the rate, but no, I know actually. Uh,
Yeah, ma. You can use REST controller and Jackson. I hope you might have heard about Jackson, right?
yeah, I've heard about Jackson libraries, right?
What is the use of Jackson library?
That is used for this only, converting JSON data to your Pojo and
Other way
vice
around?
versa. Yeah,
Yeah,
other way
correct.
around too.
Okay, fine. Fine. So you have to explain about at the rate REST controller and Jackson also.
Okay.
Next.
So Jackson, what I've Jackson? Jackson is this only, no, that you told it's of use. It is for converting data, JSON data to
Correct.
Pojo and vice versa. The Jackson data
Yes.
bind. Okay, fine.
Hmm. How many types of IOC containers are there in Spring, ma?
Two type bean factory and application context.
Okay. What's the difference between tightly coupling and loosely coupling, ma?
Tightly coupling is like uh, see if you are see if there are three classes, if
Hmm.
uh, like if there are three parts in your project and if you are changing anything in part way, it will reflect. You have to change the corresponding values in part 2 and part 3 also. But loosely coupling is the part 1, part 2, part 3 are basically independent of each other. If you are changing anything in part 2, then you do not have to change everything in part 1 and part 3. They are independent of each other. They can work independent. They are independent of each other.
Okay. Fine, ma. Next. What are the important build lifecycle methods that can you override, ma?
Uh, we can override this. There is an init method using XML. There is an init method and there is a destroy method.
Okay. Same thing, but a different way they have asked this. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Are there any limitations with auto wiring, ma?
Whatever limitations. Uh, I don't know if there's any limitations. I don't know. I don't know whether there's any limitation with auto wiring.
There are few of the limitations, ma.
Okay. Okay, I'll just study.
Okay, now the primitive data types issues are there,
Okay,
and the
I'll just.
overriding problems are there.
Okay.
This all the things comes under the issues with respect to auto wiring, ma.
Okay.
Next.
Oh, if you are okay. If you are using property tag and you are using an autofire, then which one will be preferred?
That's what. Which one will be preferred? That's what I am asking.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll
Explicit
just see.
auto wiring and implicit auto wiring, the confusion will be there.
Okay.
Okay. Can you inject null values into empty string values in a string, ma?
Oh my God, empty string value. Uh, empty value. You are asking, right?
Null
Empty
values in
value.
null values. Can you inject null and empty string values into string?
Yes, we can. If you have to write property name and value, value can be null, right?
Are you sure?
I'm just guessing because it's a simply you have to write give property name and
Hmm.
value can be null.
Hmm.
What is the answer?
Yes, ma.
We can, right?
Hmm. What is the use of enable auto configuration, ma?
Enable or this is in Spring Boot. This is not in Spring MVC, no?
Yes.
I don't remember I've studied. I just revised the topic. You told me to revise it. It's actually I forgot.
Okay. What about advices? Did you go through, ma?
No, you told me to. No. I didn't go through. You told me to study this form validation and MVC. So I studied though. I haven't studied Spring AOP. I have studied, but I haven't revised it.
Okay. Could you please tell me what are the form ways you can validate?
Form ways.
Hmm.
You can use. Form base means you can use that annotations by. You can use annotations right for this at null annotation, at minimum maximum annotation. You can also write your custom annotation
Okay.
at not null, min, max,
Hmm.
pattern. This one annotation I can think of.
So how can you create a custom validation, ma?
Custom validation. See, you have to create like say if you are Like if your annotation name is ABC, then you have to create your annotation interface using that name, and then you have to create its implementation class. Uh, so yeah, you that only you have to create your interface with that name, and then you have to create your its implementation class, and then there is a function on that is valid that implements constant validator, and then you can give your logic there, and then you
Okay.
can use in your Pojo that name that name your Pojo method.
See, I have got a one requirement, ma. I'll tell you the requirement.
Okay.
My requirement is I want to collect employee details.
You want to
Okay.
connect employee?
I want to collect employee details
Okay, okay.
in my project. Where
Okay.
in my Pojo, I have got an employee.
Uh,
Okay. Hello.
yeah, you have got employee.
Employee date of joining field,
Okay. Date of joining field.
where that particular field
Uh,
should accept date which will
uh,
be of future date only.
future date only. Okay.
How can you restrict? How can you do the validation for that?
There is a validation. There is a class. There is an matlab pre-existing validation annotation available for that or not. But if you are looking for a custom validation, then you can use. Then you can define your interface at the rate interface date future date, and then do you have to and then in the then do you have to do I have to give all the annotation we give for at the rate interface, like at the rate constant, the validated by field, which class is going to implement this interface, and then you can create your implementation class. This only you're asking, right? Then we can create your implementation class.
Okay. See, whenever you are writing this particular at the rate future, what happens over there?
Which at the rate?
You said for future date, you have to use at the rate future validation, right?
Custom validation. I don't know whether is a date is available on whether there is a predefined validation for date or not, but we can create our custom validation.
Okay. You just check it out now. We have got
For
a
the date,
concept
okay.
like only past date it has to accept and the future date it has to accept.
After that, okay, fine. Is there is any available predefined annotation for that?
Yeah, we have got a predefined annotation, ma.
Okay. So after that we can, okay, fine.
Okay, na?
Okay.
Hmm. Next. Next question. What is the use of at the rate? What is the use of at the rate? This one, ma. What is this qualifier we have seen? Required also we have seen, no, ma.
Yeah, it's a mandatory value field you have to inject it into the.
Okay. So how can you enable the loggers in Spring Framework, ma?
By using its library, by adding its logger, by adding a logger library.
How?
Uh, there's a library. You want me to name library name?
No. That's what. How we will be using
Will be
that log.
using that log.
Oh, okay. So, one second. It's simple. Like you have to give logger, but I didn't understand. Like you have to give logger dot get logger in your
Okay.
class, and then you can use its info log dot info or anything.
Okay.
And there's an
Then
error, or you can also generate your error and debug is also there. That only you're asking. We can use logger object with the help of the logger object. We can use info and debug and error.
okay. What is the difference between
Difference between
SLF log4j and a regular logger, ma?
I don't know. Log 4j and regular logger, right? Log 4j.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We basically SLF log4j. It is an inbuilt logger available in your Spring framework, ma. Okay, na?
Yeah.
Basically,
So why?
you don't need to. Hello.
Yeah, but why don't we use logger library, right? Commons.logger.
Yeah, by default that will be available. You don't have to import it specially. When it comes to
Okay.
log4j, you have to import it specially, ma.
Okay.
Got my point, right?
Yeah.
Next. Have you went through about advisors, ma? By any chance?
Advices? No.
Okay.
One question I have in Spring Core. There is a context loader listener is there, right? One is in the servlet. One is under the servlet tag and one is outside. We declare sometimes this context loader.
Yes.
So I don't know what is the difference between those two and why we use it.
Actually, we will
Because there
compare
is servlet or file is there,
dispatcher
no?
servlet.
So sorry.
We will start comparing context loader with dispatcher servlet. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
See, whenever you are comparing, you have asked me about a listener, right?
Yeah, context loader. It's there too. We declare it twice sometimes, no, inside the servlet tag and sometimes outside.
Okay. See, mom, whenever you are going for any actions,
going for any actions
utilized.
placed.
Okay.
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 It is just like a event-based triggering, ma'am. Sessions, object creation, request handling. Whenever you are performing any operation like this, in listeners will come into picture. Got my point, right?
No. I'm not asking listener. I'm asking context. Something. One sec. Context loader listener is there. No, in this we declare root application. There's XML file we registered within it param.
Correct. Oh, you are asking about context loader listener. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
context loader listener.
Context loader listener. This is basically works very similar to your dispatcher servlet, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, no?
Okay.
Where this is meant for creating root application context, and it will be shared with a child context.
And it will be shared with
Child context. That means which all the context created by dispatcher servlet are there, right?
yeah,
For all the dispatcher servlets, contexts are considered as child context.
are considered as chain context.
Child.
Okay.
Got my point, right?
No.
See, ma'am, very simple. Dispatcher servlet will get loaded after web.xml gets loaded, right?
Yeah.
Before dispatcher servlet, after web.xml gets loaded, if you want any data to be supplied to your
Oh,
dispatcher servlet components, you should take the help of this context loader listener.
this will be outside of dispatcher's the servlet mapping, right?
Correct.
Okay, okay. So, but okay,
And context loader listener is a global concept, ma'am. It is not like a local. Like services, repositories, infrastructures, everything. If you want to make it globally, it should be, if it has to be available everywhere, then you will take the help of context loader listener. Got my point, right?
no, but anyway, see, anyways, if I don't give context loader listener, and this, I didn't actually understand the concept, because in web in being this, if there is a servlet.xml file is there, and we have given context component scan and a controller and everything, then I didn't get the concept of your saying globally available.
See,
I didn't get it actually.
see, I'll tell you how that context loader listener and dispatcher servlet are linked up. Okay, na?
Okay.
First, context loader listener creates a root application object.
Okay.
Then dispatcher servlet will get loaded. Root level,
Okay.
anything has to be created in the sense context loader listener will do.
Okay.
Then the dispatcher servlet will get loaded, where it will
Okay.
acquire the application for each and every servlet entry.
Okay.
Then after that, whatever child operations has to happen, accessing the beans, next interacting with servlet context, all those things can be done. Once everything is done, then dispatcher servlet only will take care of every other operations now.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah.
Once you just go through this context loader listener and the dispatcher servlet, you'll get to know more about this.
Okay.
Okay. What is the method you have overridden for custom validation, ma?
First is the boolean is valid method. Boolean is valid, and then this I have overridden, but there are other methods for like initialized method which you can override. This too I know. In
Okay,
constant validated class, the class is constant validated. So,
fine. Message code resolver. What is message code resolver, ma?
message code resolver? No, I don't. First time I am hearing.
Basically, message code resolvers is a method which is meant for resolving the codes to error messages.
Codes to error messages. Okay.
Okay, now you might have heard about reject value, reject if empty.
No.
What now? Validation. What you have studied then?
Validation I have studied, right? Add valid annotation, add valid is there, and then binding result is there,
Okay,
and
then
then
if you need to create a custom validation, what you will do? You'll create a custom class, right? Custom validation class.
yeah,
There it will do validation for some particular data, right? If it is empty or
uh,
not, or
yeah,
if it is empty, you will be returning certain keys, right?
yeah.
How will you return that keys? Hello, are you there, ma?
I am there, I'm just thinking.
Hmm. There we will take the help of reject if empty, reject if valid, these kind of things.
Okay,
Got my point, right? Please look into this one, ma.
I'll just write it.
Okay.
All innovators start with solving a problem. As the world changes,
Hello?
we need to solve.
Hello?
Ama, you tell me.
Actually, I have gone to two, three tutorials, but I didn't. Again.
Okay, fine. You just find it out, ma. This one.
Okay, reject if empty, reject if. Okay, I'll just go through.
Okay. Okay.
And there's interceptors also in this, so I have to study interceptors also.
Yes, ma.
Okay. So we use interceptor in our projects, like in our industrial projects.
That's what, ma. I cannot give you the guarantee.
There are so many things.
I went to uh, a big company where they are migrating old concepts to new concepts. When they are migrating the concepts, at the time we should be knowing old concepts also, no, ma, to migrate it to new concepts.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what is the best way to inject beans and why, ma?
Best way to inject the beans. Uh, it's it's a constructor. No, it's a setter injection. No.
Why, ma?
Uh, because oh my God. First of all, you uh,
Hmm.
told me actually this. I don't remember the answer. Just wait.
Constructor injection is best, ma. Okay, na?
Constructor injection. Okay.
Because it will make the objects immutable.
It
Okay,
will
na?
make objects immutable. Why? Because every time you are creating, you have to. No,
It will
why it
get,
is?
sorry.
Why it will make immutable?
Because it will get created during object creation only, no, ma. The values will not be changed during runtime.
Okay, okay.
Okay, no?
Yeah.
And every time the values will not be changed. So performing operations with that particular objects are very easy. So many advantages are
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Next. So you didn't go through about this one completely, no, ma?
What advices?
Yeah, advisors, all those things.
AOP, no? AOP concept, no.
Okay. So what else is there in this one in Spring Framework, ma? Other modules.
It's
You have to go through, ma, completely.
yeah.
Services.
Next
Okay.
class I'll go through AOP and DAO concepts and services, all that.
Okay.
Hibernate no na, but only AOP concepts and the DAO concept, all that, right?
If possible, can you go through about this one also, ma? Spring Boot also.
Spring Boot. Okay.
Yeah.
Spring Security or Spring Boot? Spring Security will come first, no?
Okay, then Spring Security you just go through. Then we can go for Spring Boot directly.
Okay, so AOP, Spring Security, and DAO concepts.
And Spring Batch, ma?
Sorry, I didn't get your voice. Spring?
Batch.
Spring Batch also you want me to? It will be 2.
Okay, whatever you can go through, you just go through, ma.
Okay.
Find that?
Yeah. But just what? Okay, but in this we have. Okay. So I have to study this Spring MVC. I have to study event handling, custom events, interceptors, and the rigid and everything you told me today.
Correct.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, ma. Fine, ma.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Yeah, ma. Tell me.
Hello, sir. Previous classes recording.
I'll ping you. Could you please ping me in WhatsApp, ma, so that I can share it very easily?
Okay. Fine. I'll do that.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Thank you.